Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Art with Miss Myra. I hope that everyone is doing really well today. I hope that you all get out and enjoy this wonderful weather that we're having. It is absolutely gorgeous here in North Dakota. And we might be getting a little bit of rain this afternoon, but that's okay too. We need some rain and stuff to kind of wash things off after the long winter and make everything nice and shiny and green up that grass. So today is Friday, March 24th, and like I have talked about before, Friday is Fun with Fiber Friday. So I am a fiber artist, and what that means is I am a spinner and a weaver and a knitter, and I also do felting. Anything that you can do with fiber and wool, that's the kind of stuff that I do. So that's a small portion of what I do, but that primarily and stuff I over the last since about 2006. I have taught classes, on fiber related things, as well as other mixed media arts things, but I classify myself as being a fiber artist. So I like to showcase fiber arts related projects for you kids on Fridays. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be doing a project called straw loom weaving. Okay, and so all you need for this project is you need 3 drinking straws, some yarn, scissors, and a yarn needle if you have one, but if you don't worry about it. We don't necessarily have to have one, but they do come in a little bit handy and stuff at the end when we're sewing in ends and that kind of stuff. So, but what we're gonna do, we're gonna get started, and I will move my camera or my phone down because I do all my recording on a phone. I'm gonna move my phone down so you guys can see my workstation, and we'll start on our project. So you can see I've gathered all my supplies. Another thing that comes in really handy when you're doing this project is masking tape. So I always have masking tape on hand because when we load our straws into load our yarn into our little straw loom, we're going to fold over a little bit at the end and then tape it down. And then it's always handy too to have a tall glass near you for you can set your weaving in there. I find that very handy, so that's another thing that I always have on hand. So the straws that I have today are just regular, bendy straws, and if those are the kinds of straws that you have, that is great, but we do not need the bendy part. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off just this little end that has the bendy part on the straw because I do not need that and I don't want that when I'm building my my loom. Okay, another thing I'm going to point out to you guys, if anybody has the stainless steel straws, I absolutely love these for that project. I know some of us probably have these maybe like in our camping gear, or maybe you have them in your house when you have milkshakes on Saturday night with your families. If you have those, boy, definitely go in the cupboard and get those out, because now is a time that you can be using them for an art project. And I just find these really, really handy and stuff, and they're pretty inexpensive. If you don't have them and stuff, I know that you can order them on Amazon and that kind of stuff. So, but like I said, if you've got those, great. If you don't, we'll just use regular, regular drinking straws. So that I've already cut my ends off of. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to measure out approximately 2 feet, and you guys can see I have a ruler. I had one of my fans who thought it was hilarious that I kept saying, when we were doing all of our measuring, I kept telling you guys and stuff, and I've said this repeatedly over the years in all of my classes, that I don't measure anything. And I really don't. I have what I call Myra's method of measuring, and that is by, you guys have seen me do it, I pull something from my nose and extend my arm all the way out, and I know that is about 3 feet. But I had a fan of mine that sent me a ruler so I could actually measure out things technically and be very precise. So I'm going to use it in today's lesson, and I want to measure out 2 feet. And I'm going to, because I have 3 straws here, I'm going to measure out 3 strands of 2 feet each. So there's one. And thank you to my fan who sent this to me. You know who you are. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate your thoughtfulness in thinking of me and sending me that. Okay, so now I have my 3 strips of 2 feet each, and now I'm going to load my straw so I can start weaving. The easiest way to do this, guys, is like this, because sometimes it can be kind of tricky to, put this all the way, stuff all this yarn all the way up into your straw. So this is a really easy way to do it. It's kind of icky, but I just suck on the end of the straw and bring the yarn up all the way through, and then I'm just going to fold over just a little bit, maybe like a 1/2 inch. I'm going to fold over, and then I'm going to take my masking tape and I'm going to tape that little, it's just like this. Here's the end of my straw. Here's the how much yarn I've got. And then I'm just going to tape that in there, okay? So now that's 1 straw that's loaded. I'm ready to go. Oh, and I was going to show you guys, this is what we're making, okay? So these little things can be used for a variety of different things, okay? You can make bracelets, you can make bookmarks, you can make, if you wanted to take googly eyes and put googly eyes and felt on this, you can make this into a little monster. I mean, you guys, let your imagination go. And I'd love to see what you guys come up with to utilize this piece that we're going to use, or that we're going to make on our straw loom. I'm going to go ahead and load all 3 of my straws. I just need a little piece of tape just to go right on the top of this to hold my yarn down. Okay, so now I have all 3 of my straws that are loaded, that have my my 2 feet of yarn in each of them, and now I'm ready to start weaving, okay? And so the color that I want to use is, I want to use blue. And how I'm going to do this to begin with is I'm going to lay this flat, and I'm going to just take my first straw on the right hand side, and I'm going to start to tie a little knot at the on this piece of yarn, and I want to just put that, I'm going to tie it on my straw, okay? So I'm going to tie, just a regular knot, tie it on my straw. I want to be careful not to collapse the straw though, so I'm not tying it really tight, but I want to make sure that it's going to stay. Then I'm going to snip the tail, and now I'm ready to pick up my loom, and I'm ready to start weaving, okay? So now, because I have a knot on here that securely is holding this into place right here, okay? I'm going to consider that an over, okay? So the next one is going to be under, and then I'm going to go, over the last one, and then when I turn the corner, I'm going to go under, and then over the next one, and then under, and now that's created my first row. So you guys, when you start this out, this is pretty self-explanatory because we're only using 3 straws. If we go over one, we're gonna go under the next, and then when we turn back around, we're gonna do the opposite way of what we have done in the previous row, okay? So that is weaving. Weaving is over, under, and you just do, you know, the opposite when you, my allergies are really bugging me today. I have seasonal allergies, so it's always good to have ginger ale right next to you. And I was outside quite a bit this morning already with Daisy, my dog, and of course she's digging and kicking up dust and everything and stuff. It's actually very dry outside. I really do hope that it rains today and stuff so we can settle down some of the dust. Okay. So that is all we do. We just go over, under, and you guys can see I'm already started to make this little design here down at the bottom, and I want to, you know, keep it all together, and I'm just holding this. I don't have this, you know, taped or anything on the bottom and stuff. I'm just holding this. And this is creating just a really cute little woven design. And now I'm gonna push everything down, you know, and I'm just gonna keep going. So this is something that you could sit and work, you know, if you're sitting and watching movies with your family, you know, you could make a really long one of these. And I had a little boy that took a class from me one time, and about 2 weeks after the class, his mom came to me and said that he had made a belt. He actually made a little belt and stuff that he was wearing to school and stuff with his little woven design. But I'm gonna set this one aside, and I'm gonna show you one that I started previously that I have here in my glass, and this is on my stainless steel straws that I had in my cupboard, okay? And I want to show you guys how to change colors. So you can see I've already gotten quite a bit of weaving done here. Now I want to change to a different color and have it be a different color. And so what I'm going to do that is I'm just going to leave about a 3-inch tail, and then I'm going to take my new color, which in this case is going to be white, and I'm going to put those 2 ends together, and then I'm going to wrap that around my index finger and then over, and then go through the hole. I'm just going to tie a little knot. And then I just want to make sure that that is secure. And then I'm going to snip the tail. Be careful not to snip into the knot. All right. And then I'm just going to start weaving with my new color. Another reason why I like the stainless steel straws is they are a little bit bigger, and you definitely cannot collapse them and stuff with, you know, when you're holding them and weaving them. You cannot, sometimes with the regular drinking straws, you can kind of, you know, collapse them, indent them, and it makes it taking off your weaving a lot harder if you have done that. Just ask me how I know. I know. Because I have done it. I've also had kids that have been frustrated with doing that in class. So we don't want anybody to be frustrated with this, because this is a really fun, easy project. So I'm just going to weave here for a little while, and then I'm going to show you guys how to finish this off. But I want to have a length that is long enough, because I want this one to just be a bracelet. So it's just a little bit longer here. And what I'm going to do now and stuff, I'm going to show you guys. I've got quite a bit of weaving here on my straws, and so I'm going to pull this down. I'm going to keep this all together, and I'm going to pull it down, and it's going to go onto the yarn that I have down here, okay? Ooh, and I forgot one thing. Before you guys start your project, you're going to want to knot your yarn down here on the bottom. On the bottom of your 2 feet sections that went into the straw, you're going to want to tie a knot. That's what's going to hold your weaving on when you take it off. And so that's a very important step. I'm sorry guys, I forgot to tell you that when we were doing our setup. This is another project that can come together very, very easily and very, very quickly. Okay, and I have just a little bit more to do here then. And I always want to make sure that my straws are even, you know. Okay, so I'm going to end it there. And what I'm going to do here and stuff is this. Before I start taking this off, I'm going to snip off. I'm going to leave a little, about a 4-inch tail. And then I'm going to just tie a knot. I'm going to start, you know, tying a knot. So start the beginning part of the knot. I'm going to slip that over my first straw, you know, my one that's on the right hand side. I'm going to do that twice. So double knot it. We want to make sure that it stays. Okay. Then I'm going to snip off my tail. And then I'm going to hold all of my work, all of my weaving that I have done. I'm going to hold that together, and I'm going to just slide that down onto my yarn pieces that were in my straws, and I'm going to slide it down to the end. And this is where it kind of helps to, you know, you can put it down on your table surface to kind of keep it flat. You want to make sure you're getting it on there correctly. And you're just going to push it down to the knot. That's why that knot is very important. Okay. And now I'm going to leave about another 4 inches. I want enough here to tie my other side of my knot. And then I'm going to just tie a knot, just a simple knot, the one that we do over the index finger, around and through the loop. Get that down as close as you can to your weaving, and then there you go. You have a little bracelet, and you can just tie this on the back, but that is our little woven bracelets that you can make on a straw loom, a drinking straw loom, okay? But like I said, you can make these all shapes, all sizes. You can make bookmarks. You can make these guys into, like I said, if you wanted to add googly eyes on here and a little bit of felt, you could make it into a little monster. You guys could do whatever you'd like to with this. Your imagination is the only thing that limits you there. So, all right, so that is our project for today. Thank you so much for joining me for Art with Miss Myra. Please tune in tomorrow at 3 o'clock Mountain Time, and I will give you the list of the projects and supplies that you will be needing for those projects for the coming week. And until then, I hope that you guys have a great night. Get out and enjoy the nice weather, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.